What's something you did as a child that you only realized was dangerous years later? When I was around 8 or 9, my family moved into this old house in a rural area. It was built in like the 60s or something and had this massive backyard that backed up to some woods. My parents were always busy. Mom worked nights, dad worked days. So my older brother Mateo and I basically had free reign of the property after school. There was this old shed at the very back of our yard that my parents told us to stay away from because it was full of junk and they were planning to tear it down eventually. But obviously telling kids not to go somewhere is basically an invitation, lol. So one day when Mateo was at soccer practice, I got bored and decided to check out the forbidden shed. The door was locked with this rusty padlock, but there was a window on the side that was broken. I literally squeezed through it. I was super skinny as a kid and dropped down inside. It was dark and dusty and smelled weird, like chemicals and metal. But the coolest thing was that there were these glass bottles everywhere, like dozens of them in different colors and sizes. Some were clear, some were amber, some were blue. They all had these faded labels that I couldn't really read because they were old and peeling. I thought they were like potions or something. IDK. I was obsessed with Harry Potter at the time, so in my head I had discovered some kind of wizard's laboratory LMAO. So I started playing this game where I would mix potions together. I would take little bits from different bottles and mix them in this metal bowl I found. I never drank any of it, thank God. But I would stir it all together and pretend I was making magical concoctions. I did this for weeks, like multiple times a week after school. I would sneak into the shed, play with my potions, and then leave before anyone noticed. Sometimes the mixtures would get really hot or make weird smells or even change colors, but I thought that was just part of the magic. One time I mixed something that started bubbling and smoking and it scared me, so I dumped it outside in the dirt. It literally made this weird hissing sound and killed all the grass in that spot. I remember thinking I had made some kind of death potion, and I felt so powerful. Lemu. My parents never found out about my little hobby. After about a month or so, I got bored of it and moved on to other things. Then a few weeks later, some guys came and cleaned out the shed before tearing it down. I remember being sad that my potion lab was gone, but I didn't say anything, obviously. Fast forward to when I was in college taking chemistry. We were learning about household chemicals and lab safety, and the professor was talking about how mixing certain cleaning products can create toxic gases that can literally kill you. And it hit me like a truck. Those bottles in the shed, they were probably old cleaning supplies, pesticides, fertilizers, paint thinners, and who knows what else from like the 60s, 80s when that stuff was way less regulated. And I was mixing them together in a poorly ventilated space. I literally had to leave class because I started having a panic attack. The more I learned about chemistry, the more I realized how close I probably came to seriously injuring or killing myself. Like, mixing ammonia and bleach creates chloramine vapor that can cause respiratory failure. Mixing acids and bases can create violent reactions. Some of those old pesticides were probably toxic enough on their own. The fact that I never drank any, got splashed, or created a deadly gas that killed me on the spot is actually miraculous. Like, I was literally playing Russian roulette with industrial chemicals as an 8-year-old and had no idea. I told my mom about it years later and she went completely white. She said the previous owners had been some kind of hobby farmers, and the shed had been their storage for all kinds of chemicals and supplies. They had told my parents to just get rid of everything when they moved.